Ooh, okay. Hello everyone, welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. According to RMC and Fabrizio Romano, Thiago ready to tackle God Cantara could be leaving us for the journeymen in the Scouse land of Liverpool. We're hoping that it doesn't happen. I mean, there's sources saying 26 million. I don't think they know who Bayern are. We didn't even want to pay money for James Rodriguez and got him on a 2-year loan to back Carlo Ancelotti. Thiago is not going to leave Bayern for less than 30 million. If Liverpool don't want to pay the amount that Bayern want, Bayern would just lose him for free. Because it's not like as a club where we need money to replenish and replace him. I think with Mikel Cousins, Adrian Fine, with all the new young players coming through, and Cousins we bought last year, very similar to Thiago with that left foot instead of the right foot and the technicality. So for me, I don't think we're necessarily going to need to replace Thiago. But according to sources, Fabrizio Romano actually didn't say anything along the lines of Liverpool have agreed a 4-year deal, blah, 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 with all the terms. No. All he said was Thiago would like to join Liverpool, and Liverpool are now negotiating with Bayern Munich. Actually, why? I don't think that's true. I don't think Bayern will be negotiating with Liverpool before the Champions League is over. That wouldn't happen. So there probably isn't really talks going on right now. It's just journalists doing what journalists do. But so many sources coming out and saying Bayern would accept. You know what's funny? Really funny to me? These sources are literally just trying to track back on so many things they said. Because they said Thiago would join Liverpool, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. But then they started saying 20 million. Bayern would let him go for 20 million. Then they moved to 22 million. Then they moved to 25 million. Then they moved to 27 million. And now they're at 28 million. Now Bayern will not accept less than what they're asking for Thiago. There is no budging in between for this. Thiago would probably not mind staying at Bayern and leaving for free. Liverpool wouldn't mind that. You think Liverpool would pay 30 million for Thiago when they couldn't pay the 50 million for Timo Werner when they actually needed him? So I think for me, I don't see how Thiago leaves for less than 30 million. This is a player that's actually worth it. So right now the story is hot, but I don't know. The Champions League is still going on. Why would Liverpool be doing that's just not how it works. I don't think Bayern would be doing that to a player that's playing for us. I don't think there's negotiations going on right now, unfortunately. Right? He might go to Liverpool. They're making it seem like it's a done deal. Like, that's not how it works. And Liverpool might say, we don't want to pay the money. Wijnaldum might extend. Liverpool go, we don't want to pay the money. Let's keep what we have. Because Liverpool don't need to buy Thiago, do they? They want to because he'd probably be their best, he would be their best midfielder in all regards. Thiago, for me, he's worth 50 million. I don't care about this age thing. They're going to bring up age. Jesus Christ, Liverpool, man. They're like a girl. You ask out a girl, and then when you're going on a date with her, she's like, you're kind of ugly, though. You don't have a nice car. You don't have a nice house. I hate your dress sense. That's what Liverpool are like to me. Because it looks like behind the scenes they want Thiago, but in the newspapers, with the stories coming out, Liverpool are thinking about Thiago's age, his injury record, and all these other things. That's not going to come into play with negotiation. Bayern are probably just going to say, we want 40 million. Give us 40 million. If you don't, he stays here for another year. And we have him for another year. Because, he'll be 30 next year. Actually, losing Thiago isn't that big of a deal. Thiago isn't like, I don't know. It's not like we're going to become irrelevant without Thiago. No, I mean, it's just not going to happen. Did you see Goretzka's monster classes in the midfield against Barcelona and Chelsea and all these other games? I think, pretty much to me, what it looks like it happened is Thiago, maybe 3 months ago, was for sure going to sign a new contract. Bild said Thiago had a new contract and he was going to sign it. And then he got injured, and that's where I think this, going to a new club thing came in. Because, Thiago didn't want a new challenge last year. He didn't want a new challenge 3 months ago. I think Thiago thought to himself, hey, Kimmich and Goretzka are balling right now. My future here is pretty much over. What if I just go to a new club? And Liverpool was the club that came into his head. I think he wants to go to Liverpool to just play with Klopp and play in a different style, different system. That's fine with me. I have no problems with that. I just think it's a little bit sketchy why he did it so close to, he did it in the middle of a pandemic too. So you're thinking to yourself, well, it's going to be cheaper. And you know what? Liverpool are going to have to pay money for him. Someone was telling me, have you ever heard about this guy? He's so good. Oh no, it's a Liverpool fan. Let's do the scouts. Mate, you've never heard of this guy? FSG, they're really cheap. We're gonna get Thiago for cheap. That's not how it works with Bayern. It's like two cheap people going at it. Whoever has the thing, they're gonna want the most money for it. Bayern are the cheapest club in the world. We take pride in being cheap. We take pride in going for the cheap route. I think Thiago will be, Liverpool be paying us 40 million for him. And if they don't, they can bounce because Thiago can leave next year for free and he can go to Liverpool. I wouldn't care if he leaves next year for free. Maybe his legacy will be a little bit different because people will look at him a little bit weird because he's leaving for free. And that's where, I think he would probably he could extend, right? He could still stay. I don't think Thiago will leave. This is what I hate about just the news. All 2 months, these last 2 months, all I've been hearing about is Havertz, Sancho. Where are those deals? They're closed quiet now. Things aren't happening that much. People just thought but Thiago every single day, and now, these stories, it's like journalists are looking for something to say. Fabrizio Romano literally repeated exactly what he said 2 weeks ago, and now people are acting like that's new news. These journalists, the Fabrizio Romanos, the Christian Falks, I respect them and their work rate and their ethics, but they're not perfect. Not everything they say goes. Fabrizio Romano tweeted out that Ralf Rangnick was going to be AC Milan's new manager. It didn't work out. It didn't actually happen. People are questioning whether or not the deal was actually complete. Fabrizio Romano tweeted, "Here we go." And then a few days later, he said, "Nope, not here we go. It's not going." So, these journalists just want clicks. They want the most exciting thing. Like, for example, Manchester United are not going to sign Jadon Sancho. It's a fact at this point. Dortmund have pretty much, if you're a Dortmund fan and your club is pretty much showing you all the Sancho sentimentalism, your, director of football is saying Sancho is staying and you're planning with him, and Sancho leaves, that's going to be very bad for you as a club. So this Sancho deal, you're thinking about, why is Fabrizio Romano constantly saying talks is still on, talks is still on? Because it's for clicks. And the same thing with Thiago. You're going to start hearing these different stories come out. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but I know for a fact Bayern aren't talking with Liverpool right now. We're in the middle of a Champions League campaign. We're trying to do something special. Why would Bayern be entertaining Liverpool? Bayern's board isn't actually even anywhere close to offices. They're in hotel rooms. They're chilling. They're relaxing. Bayern aren't talking to Liverpool right now, and I'm sorry to any Liverpool fan that thinks Bayern Munich will be talking to Liverpool while we're in a Champions League campaign in Portugal that we could win. Why the hell would we care what Liverpool is asking us? Even if we wanted to sell Thiago and he was a virus at the club, why would we be talking to Liverpool while we're in a campaign for the Champions League? Fake news, as the Donald would say. Nah, seriously, rest in peace to Trump's brother. That's pretty sad. People making fun of it. It's very weird how the world is, Someone dies and, and now it's just weird people out there. But seriously, why would Bayern Munich be communicating with Liverpool in the middle of a freaking pandemic? In the middle of our Champions League campaign. So there are no negotiations going on. I don't know where these journalists are getting that from. And Thiago, I think Thiago wants to go to Liverpool. That's for sure. But I don't think Thiago wants to go to Liverpool to the point where he's going to just, say F you to Bayern, push a move up. Nah, Thiago ain't doing that. If Liverpool won't pay for Thiago, I don't think Thiago would go to the Bayern board and be like, God, like he's some Liverpool fan, like he knew what Liverpool was in Spain at La Masia. No, Thiago is a Barca fan. We know this. He was speaking all good things. He was hoping Barca get back to where they are because he's a Barcelona fan. And, people think when a player joins the club, they become a fan of course they do, because that's their job. But Thiago is a Barcelona fan. He's not a Liverpool fan. It's his career. Maybe he just wants to, do something at the end of his career. His goal was to win the Champions League before he left Bayern. And he could be potentially doing that on the 23rd if we beat Lyon on Wednesday and we're in a final. Goodness gracious, we could be in a final. It could be an all-German final. It could be Bayern versus... And then we could get beaten by Lyon. But Thiago's goal was to win the Champions League at Bayern, then leave. And if he does it, man, that's gonna warm my heart, because this is one of my favorite players in the world right now. He is my favorite player in that squad. His ability is very, very good. But I'm not going to stand in the way of him. I'm not going to stand in his way. People are so jealous of Bayern sometimes because we lose Ian Robben and Ribéry, we replace them immediately. We're not that club. We're not Man United. We still haven't, replaced this guy. Liverpool still hadn't replaced Gerrard for years. Nah, we're not that club. Thiago's going to go. Next year, we're just going to have another player that's capable of doing what he can do. It's something that people don't like seeing because they're like, why can't you just be... Bayern will replace Thiago thoroughly. And that's just where we are. Maybe a house in Iowa. A lot of people are saying we won't spend money. I don't think we will either. On a midfielder, that is. I don't think we'll spend money on a direct replacement, which is why I'm confident Bayern will play hardball. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge just said a couple of weeks ago, this ain't no summer sale, okay? Just because the sun's blazing down does not mean we're going to be stupid. We're not going to be lazy in this transfer deal. We're going to play hardball, and Liverpool's going to have to pay up. Who loses more here? Is it Bayern, who don't really need to let go of Thiago, who don't really need money? Because... All right, look at that. Hot boy with the donation. You should collab with Bayern Fan TV. Well, we were going to do that, but we'll see. But look, that's just how transfers work, man. And I think people are getting very confused. Okay, very confused with Bayern Munich. They're trying to think, they're thinking we're Southampton or something. It's kind of disrespectful to the arrogant Bayern Munich board, okay? It's very disrespectful. By the way, we're close to 1,000, 2,000, 3,100. I said 3,000 before the end of the month, and now we're close to 3,100. So subscribe, share the videos. We're constantly growing. A lot of you are Liverpool fans. Probably 90% of the people watching are Bayern fans. And, it's kind of beautiful that people are all over the world. And, there was a moment where it was only Chelsea fans because they cared about what I was saying. It's almost like we're taking turns to adhere to each fan base. So to the Liverpool fans, look, you want Thiago. He'd probably be your best midfielder. But, you're going to have to pay up for him. And Liverpool's ownership, there's a lot of people that want him out. I don't get it because they took Liverpool to where they are. That's like, it's like having a baby and then saying, you should get rid of. No. That's just weird. Liverpool, they're fine. They're running their business well. They just bought some guy, some Wi-Fi password, never heard of him. He's probably going to just be very good as a left back. I don't know that much about Liverpool's way of doing business, but I do know that Bayern don't sell players for cheap. We sold Hummels to Dortmund for more money than we bought him from them. And that's just how we are. We are ran like a football club that values football first. We're not going to let Thiago stay. We're not Man United. United weren't going to let Pogba leave. They were going to try to convince him to stay. We're not that club. We don't let players run down their contracts last minute and then we sign them up to save money. If you earned it, Alphonso Davies, 2025. In 2023, in 3 years, he'll probably just extend to 2028. And that's just how it works with Bayern. And we're going to sell Thiago for the right price. And I don't think there'll be a summer sale. One get one free, buy one get one free. You don't buy one Thiago leg and get the other one for free. You have to buy Thiago with 40 plus million. A lot of money, but Bayern will want it. The thing with Bayern as well is, we're a moral club. I don't think we'd price Thiago out of a move because we're not desperate to keep him. It's not like if we, let Thiago go, you lose that ability, that quality, don't you? But we have that in other players. We're not dead. If Kimmich didn't have to go back to right back, we wouldn't have Thiago in the starting 11, if that makes any sense. Thiago would be on the bench. But then Pavard got injured. Kimmich had to go to right back. So let's say Max Aarons comes in for Pavard if Pavard's injured. Then we wouldn't have this. And, I don't think Liverpool and Bayern are negotiating just yet. Since he pay your electricity bills. Since he refused to sign the contract, showed disrespect to the club. I don't think, we don't know what's happening. Surely, Hansi Flick likes Thiago, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge likes Thiago, Hassan Salamans likes Thiago. Every single person we know at that club likes Thiago. So maybe it wasn't a sign of disrespect, but maybe at the time, it was disrespectful. It is. To be fair, it is in a very weird way. Because how do you have a contract and everything's agreed, and then you say you don't want to join and you don't want to stay? And it is annoying for us, but maybe for Thiago and for Bayern, it made sense, and he maybe gave a good reason eventually. Bayern have said we haven't received any offers, and I don't think they have. I don't think Liverpool are in contacts with Bayern as the media will have you think. They're probably saying that because Liverpool do their business really fast, so they can say, we got it right. Liverpool no. Why would Bayern be negotiating with Liverpool while we're playing in a Champions League campaign, while Thiago is still playing for Bayern? What if Thiago gets injured like Naby Fekir did and Liverpool don't end up buying him because of his injury? And that's just how it is, People just think everything is black and white with these transfer stories. It's not like that, Liverpool will wait. Champions League is over. Thiago wants to leave, really. And then Liverpool will say, okay, Bayern, what do you want? Bayern will say 40 million. Liverpool will say 20 million. Bayern will say, okay, we won't sell him. Because we don't care. We don't need the money. We got hit financially with this Sirona. But if we win the Champions League, no one, no Bayern board member will be like, damn, we need to sell Thiago to get some money. Nah, we're richer than Liverpool in every single way. Top 4 for the last 10 years. For income producing. We were second at some point. We were third. We are the best run club in the world. We're also 16th for spending. We have no debt whatsoever. People want us to fail so bad. We won't be negotiating with Liverpool at this point. You said you would make me a mod and you would get new mods at 3K. Dang it, did I say that? Jesus. Alright, fine. 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 Hey George, what do you think of Rummenigge, of Dybala? Rummenigge admires him. Well, yeah, that's interesting. So Dybala is too expensive. I of course you're gonna like that type of player. That's like asking someone, hey, said manager, do you like Lionel Messi? They're like, yes. And I don't know. I just think people are a little bit weird. Did you notice that Thiago started playing faster this season? He risks more and opens the game. He plays forward earlier for several seasons. He did not play convincingly. Only had glimpses, says Doga. Well, Doga getting timed out for 1 second. I do get it. I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, but that's because he's playing at CDM. And there was multiple years where he was just playing like a little bit of like a cam, like an attacking number 8, which is I don't like Thiago in that. I like Thiago in the double pivot where he's a CDM alongside Kimmich, who's also a CDM. The thing with Bayern is, even our fans don't know what Thiago does or Kimmich. Is Kimmich a CDM or is Thiago a CDM? They take turns. I think Kimmich and Thiago get on the ball just as much as each other. They both drop deep. That they're both CDMs. There's no CM. Thiago is the best CM in the world. Kimmich they're both CDMs. They're both doing the exact same things on the pitch, just in their different ways. I mean, actually, Kimmich and Thiago aren't that, far from each other, except Thiago does his turn, right? Beautiful pressure-resisting turn. That's something I like about Thiago. Mikel Cousins has it too, just does these little turns. But I think with Thiago, I think Man City no pedigree, Champions League. Well, that's what the Champions League is about. I can't wait to start doing the Lyon content, by the way. Hello? Okay, there we go. Thiago is more technical, which is why I love him. Yeah, technicality. His first touch. This guy's first touch just does something wonderful to my freaking body, man. It makes me it's amazing. Thiago is way better in recovering the ball. Well, that's with experience. Kimmich is only 25, and a lot of people are saying Kimmich next captain. Well, he's gonna be captain maybe when he's 28. He's not gonna be captain just that quick. What is this? What? Oh, I ate cereal and that's milk, isn't it? Well, that's crazy. If Thiago goes, we don't need another CM because we have Gray. Yeah, I think so. Thiago is rubbish, says Laps. Well, he's a Chelsea fan, so I excuse you for saying that. Get Iowa to replace Muller. That's like me saying, let me get a dude to replace my girl. That's just not how it works, unless you're moving that way, right? not my style, but look, that's not it. I was a CDM slash, well, he's a central midfielder, pressure alleviating, plays a little bit like Thiago when he's on the ball. This guy had he had one assist, didn't he? Yeah, he was amazing. Heisam Iowa he's a different breed of a player. The tempo control. That's something that we know Thiago with his technicality. Mikel Cousins can do that. We'll see what Cousins does. He turns 21 today. We'll see in the next few years what he does and molds into, because I want him to be very good. Any news on the Pavard injury? Well, Pavard's back. I think he's going to be back in team training and then, maybe tomorrow. You know what? If Pavard actually rushed him, well, I hope it's not one of those where he steps on the pitch and pulls up his hand. I don't want that. And then he's like off for like 7 months. Hopefully that's not the situation. But it looks like he's back. He actually worked very hard and now he's back, and good for him. Good for him. Good for him. I hope, he can feature for us and, help us. Imagine we're playing a game where they're hidden out our right-hand side and Kimmich is too far forward. If you look at our heat maps, Davies has been more reserved than Kimmich, because Kimmich wants to be a winger. He wants to just be up there and with the action. And he left a lot of space in behind. Vidal kept making Kimmich, just be next to him. And I think, if Pavard can be back, we can definitely have that physicality back at right back. I don't know where Kimmich would be, though, because I don't think Hansi Flick would change it, by the way. Sometimes, injuries happen. That's it. It's football, it's life. Injuries happen. You can't change everything because of it. It's how you react. I don't think Flick would say, Pavard's back, but Thiago, you're out. Goretzka, you're out. Kimmich, you're in. Midfield. Nah. Of course, Pavard has been a huge part of the season, but, I can tell he wants to come back and lift that trophy with the team, if he wins it. But we shouldn't be risking our rhythm and everything we've been doing over the last few months because of him. Don't hide its laps. Come on. Its laps is cool. Sorry about that Goretzka vid. I have a lot of things to do. Wow, I need that video. Not too much, but I would like a video on Goretzka just to, propagate it even more. Kimmich and Goretzka double pivot. We'll see. I don't know. I'm here. Alaba transfer news. I don't think there's that much to be talking about other than the fact that Bayern's board met with his agent again in Lisboa. I think it's going to happen. Alaba will sign a new contract. I was watching a video yesterday and this guy just said out of nowhere, Chelsea fan, by the way, he basically just said pretty much that Alaba said something. Alaba said he was tired of Bayern, tired of the league. I'm like, no, Alaba actually said the opposite of that. He loved it here. He just wants more money. That's it with Alaba. He wants to be a top earner. And I think with that being said, I understand Alaba wants to be a top earner, but he's not Lewandowski. He's not Thomas Muller. He's not that level of an influence. If we lose Alaba, Lucas Hernandez comes in. But you're also losing that ball progression. Arsene Wenger, one of the best Premier League managers of all time, was saying it. He pretty much outlined exactly what Alaba is to Bayern. He pretty much said, with Alaba in our team, our progression into the final third with quality goes up 10%. Our goal scoring goes up 12 to 15%. That's what Arsene Wenger said. And these are managers, people that know ball, okay? Wenger is known for his football knowledge. And if he's saying Alaba is brilliant, then whoever is saying it, some on Twitter named FCB, I don't care what he's saying. If Arsene Wenger, Hansi Flick, and everyone at our team is valuing Alaba and want to keep him, then I want to keep Alaba because he's amazing. People are trying to say Alaba is crap because he made an error. Well, I can bring up about 5 situations where Jerome Boateng, he had a good first half, but the second half, everything that we conceded went through Boateng's side, and people won't see that because Boateng wasn't there. Alaba was making a clearance that he shouldn't have been making. When you see Van Dijk for Liverpool, when a cross is coming in from Van Dijk's side, the left-hand side for Liverpool, where Robertson is, when a cross comes in, Van Dijk is usually the one clearing that. And, we're seeing Alaba on the far side of Boateng clearing a cross that Boateng should be there for. Because that wasn't a hard cross. It was a low cross Jerome Boateng should be in the position to cover that type of cross. You're letting Alaba cover it. Maybe Alaba thought, there's the ball's coming, I should clear it, and he tried to, and that happens. Own goals happen, but we have to look at how everything happened. Alba got in behind us. The recovery pace didn't close him down from Boateng because Kimmich was caught out. Your center back becomes that position, and I think a lot of people are underestimating Alaba. Alaba has done so well to cover Davies. The amount of times where Davies has been caught up the pitch, Alaba becomes a left back and covers it. Simple, goes out for a throw in from his clearance. It's so easy and simple. That's brilliant defending. That's something that people underestimate. Defending isn't about making 50 tackles. If you watch Lucas Hernandez, people are talking about how great Lucas is defensively, more than Davies and Alaba. Well, Lucas came in 2 times for Davies at left back towards the end of the Bundesliga season, I think versus Wolfsburg or something. 2 goals conceded right in front of him. Who's the better one defensively? Sometimes we think of defensively as making 50 tackles. No, Mats Hummels doesn't make 50 tackles a minute. No, Franz Beckenbauer didn't make 50 tackles a minute. Maldini and Nesta didn't make 50 tackles a minute. Jerome Boateng in his prime didn't make 50 tackles a minute. Bayern Munich as a team, we won't be making tackles from center back as much as most teams. So with that being said, when you look at Alaba and you're like, oh, he only makes 0.07 tackles per game, that's because we're Bayern. We usually have 60+% possession against any given opponent. We had 55% against Barcelona. We had like 60 against Chelsea. That's how it works. Alaba isn't getting the defensive work he does is so undervalued because he's doing it on Davies' side. That's it. Alaba is very important for us. There's a reason why Alaba. I don't know. Laps, you're not hidden. Should we get Upamecano in 3 years' time? Well, there was a story from Christian Falk. And, thank you for mentioning that, Ahmed, because I actually been thinking about it. Upamecano, there's a reason we were linked to him. There's a reason we were linked to Kai Havertz, because they fit Flick's system. Havertz coming in from that, wide right, cutting inside, in that half space. He would fit so well. And Upamecano, Leipzig, their high line. Upamecano, best player against Atletico, high line. Pocketing strikers. That's what you want. Van Dijk at Liverpool does the same. I think Konate is better than Upamecano, by the way. A lot of us have been saying Konate. Let's not say it loud for the fans. Konate is a better center back. He pocketed Lewandowski twice. SKB. Well, I haven't been seeing you a lot lately, bro, because Lewandowski and Muller have been balling against these small teams in the Champions League. Should Bayern buy a class reserve striker for Robert Lewandowski? What do you think? Well, Doga, if Lewandowski decided to get injured, maybe we should. But he doesn't get injured. He wants to play every single game. Mukiele, why does Leipzig have such a good backline? Who do you think is the right replacement for Thiago? You know what? Fabian Ruiz. There is no right replacement for Thiago, is it? Well, with Thiago, the thing is, Thiago is so gifted at everything. He's an excellent... Defensively, he's perfect. Best CDM, in my opinion, in that squad defensively. He's just so powerful for a guy that's short, supposed to be more technical than physical. Well, he's very powerful in the midfield. On the ball, I wouldn't say Thiago is better at passing than Kimmich. Nah. I think I'm off there. Well, Thiago has better technique than Kimmich. That's it. Better technique, more technical. But Kimmich is also highly technical. You see some of the passes Kimmich makes. He's so aware. I mean, the positioning he made for Davies' tap-in, from Davies' dribbling. Kimmich put it he got in front of De Jong. And I think, on the passing side, Kimmich is better. So you're pretty much having to buy a player that can defend very well. And dribbling-wise, Thiago's the best dribbler in that squad, flat out. Coman just puts people on the floor for no reason and then whacks a 50-yard cross to the Eiffel Tower. So with you're pretty much, you need to get someone very defensive, someone that can dribble, and someone that can that can pass very well. It's nothing bad to be worse at passing, not worse, just slightly not as good as Kimmich when it comes to passing. It's just not how it works. I think Süle will be the best center back at Bayern in 5 years. He'll be the best center back at Bayern next season. Just watch. Leon Goretzka and Kimmich, my two sons, will be the best player. Yeah, they will. They will be. They will be important. I can't. Niklas Süle needs to get his contract extended soon, or I'll get angry. He needs a new contract. Look at how this guy comes on, and I felt so comfortable. I think we should honestly look at taking out Boateng and putting Niklas Süle in, because Boateng has lost his legs. He might do the thing where he clears the ball. Yes, that's his job. But at Bayern, your job's not just good enough. You can do your job very well, and that's good. But I need you to do your job above everyone else. Everyone else in Europe. Alaba does his job as a defender, defends, covers Davies a lot, because Davies goes forward a lot, and Davies makes a few of those recovery runs a few times. People are like, oh my God, Fonzie, what a run. The amount of times they put in a cross, not from Davies not blocking it, but maybe Davies is tracking back. Alaba becomes our left back, and he blocks a simple cross. That cross could have led to a goal. Ah, man, Alaba's amazing. So good. Süle's sick. Exactly. Niklas Süle has unbelievable pace. I'll explain why I love this guy and Goretzka. Kroos's Goretzka. That's like asking me dead or life. I want Goretzka. Life, man. Liveliness. Toni Kroos is boring to watch as a midfielder. Thiago leaving means Tolisso leaving. No, Tolisso ain't leaving. I think Bayern are keeping him because he came off the bench, did a few things, and you know what? Tolisso has his qualities, but the thing is, it's his injuries. And also, does he fit our style? No, he doesn't. He doesn't fit our double pivot where you need to be comfortable on the ball. You can't be getting caught out like that. I remember now, he made a stupid pass with Real Madrid 2018. Was it for the own goal or was it for the Benzema? I don't know. Okay, not only did he make that stupid pass, against Spurs, under pressure, gets nicked so quickly, so effortlessly. That's the thing with Tolisso. He doesn't look like he fits how we play. He looks like a tireless, big Antonio Conte type of midfielder. Just does his job. Just makes the tackle and clears the ball. And is he that? It's Lap says Havertz. I don't care about Havertz. Have you noticed I don't care about these transfers? Because Bayern Munich are potentially on their way to win their sixth. That's more important to me than Kai Havertz. if you don't sign Havertz, I don't care. Tanguy won't start, but he will be given opportunities. If we win the Champions League, I won't care. Tanguy Kausi will be a good player next season. What Christian Falk said was that Bayern Munich wanted Upamecano. We were this close to getting him. Hansi Flick really wanted Upamecano. You can tell why, because he actually would fit us so well. Okay, Flick wanted Upamecano, but then Hansi, and the board said, okay, we don't want to afford him. We don't want to pay 40 million, or actually at the time 60 million. I don't think he has a release clause. I think there's all these sources. I don't know. I hope he doesn't, because Leipzig would lose him next year. Well, unless he wants to stay at Leipzig, which, if Leipzig get to a Champions League final, if you're Upamecano, you want to stay at that club. As much as Real Madrid could be an attractive proposition, Leipzig are in a Champions League final. I'm staying, bro. Get out of here. This is going to Real Madrid. I'm staying at Leipzig. Getting to a Champions League final or even a semi-final, I'm staying at Leipzig. But Bayern Munich wanted to get Tanguy Kausi, very high rated. PSG miss him. Tuchel had a whole press conference meltdown over him leaving for free too. And then Bayern want to see what Upamecano does this season, because he fits us. The way he presses as a center back, that's how we play. He wants to dominate the striker, and we'll see. Upamecano will play a lot of games. We will get injuries. Alaba will get injured at some point. That's just the name of the game. Bayern aren't, the perfect club where no one gets injured. Upamecano will start a few games, because this kid was starting for PSG. He would have been starting for that PSG backline, and he would have probably made it better. But Upamecano will be playing for Bayern next season. He'll have first team minutes. He'll start a lot of games. The thing is, Bayern are just looking to see how well he does. If he doesn't do well, Bayern are going to probably sell Boateng this year too. No one's, people are forgetting that. Boateng could be leaving because there was a source coming out, actually Bild, that Bayern have decided to sell Boateng internally. So if an offer came in that was reasonable, we'd sell him, because next year we'll lose him for free, and I don't think we'll extend his contract. So with that being said, Upamecano could join Bayern next year if Tanguy Kausi maybe doesn't fit the bill or looks like he needs more time to develop. But I think Tanguy Kausi will probably just be one of the best center backs in Europe in the next 4 years, because this kid just plays like he's 30 years old. I'm watching him with PSG scoring twice in one game. Pretty much he's amazing to watch, man. He's one of those center backs that, like a Van Dijk, he doesn't really need to be given. He's just intelligent. Maybe you will have hopes and do lives together at the semifinals. I mean, he's a very cool guy. I didn't know who he was until I found him on Dominic Rich City, and then I figured out who he was, and he looks like a very cool guy. Look, we'll have loads of... man. If we were playing Man City, we would have so much more content to be doing. This is why I kind of want to City through, because it's more exciting for me. Now we're playing Lyon. I don't know any Lyon fans. If you know any Lyon fans, feel free to let me know. But I don't know any, and the content would have been so much more fun with Man City, because I had a very... we were going to do a huge collab with 2 other Man City. Oh my goodness. It was going to be fun. But that's what football is. You know, you never... I literally planned it like it was going to happen too. Gini, Verratti, De Jong, and Ndombele are the only real replacements for someone like Thiago. Verratti and Thiago are pretty similar, aren't they? But, you know, I feel like people, mainly just fans, we just forget how, you know, it's like, you know, at some point, Bastian Schweinsteiger could never be replaced. At some point, you know, Ian Robben could never be replaced. At some point, Frank Ribery could never be replaced. At some point, Mario Mandzukic, Mario Gomez, etc. The list keeps going on. They could never be replaced. At some point, Giovanni Elba could never be replaced. At some point, Effenberg could never be replaced. At some point, Franz Beckenbauer could never be replaced. At some point, Manuel Neuer could never be replaced. At some point, Oliver Kahn could never be replaced. At some point, Sepp Maier could never be replaced. At some point, Sami Kufo could never be replaced. At some point, Javi Martinez could never be replaced. At some point, Jupp Heynckes could never be replaced. And we get to this thing where we're like, no one can be replaced. Everyone can be replaced at some point. And the same with Thiago. Thiago can be replaced. And we just have to do the right replacement. And it's not like, yeah, we have talented players in Bayern 2 available. All of them have to be talented. Stop. We have talented players at Bayern 2. You know, they wouldn't be at Bayern if they weren't talented. But, you know, maybe 3 of them could make it at Bayern 1, you know, at the actual Bayern Munich club. You know, 3 of them, you know, a max, because that's how generations work. Schweinsteiger and Lahm. Who's the other guy? Those were like the 2 or 3 in their generation, you know. People look at our academy and they're like, this kid has so much ability. Well, not all of them will succeed for different reasons or the others. You know, there's a lot of kids in that academy that will be playing for, you know, Bayer Leverkusen instead of Bayern Munich. And that's just, they're going to be playing for 1860 Munich at some point. You know, not every kid in our academy is going to be a baller. That's not how it works. You know, there's a reason we need to spend money and get players in, because not every one of our academy players will be at Bayern Munich level. They look good now because, of course, they should. They're playing for Bayern 2. You know, there's a reason why they got picked to be in that team. And that's it. Leave a like on the video, by the way. Look at Bernardo Silva. I don't care. Bayern Munich is going to win PSG in the Champions League final. Well, we have to get to it first. And I don't think PSG will get past Leipzig. I think it will be an all-German final. People have been underestimating Leipzig. I told you. I feel like I predicted everything. I said Leipzig would beat Atletico, and people were like, well, Atletico can I'm like, you haven't played Leipzig. They're annoying. They do everything you don't want them to do. Julian Nagelsmann is better than Tuchel. Leipzig as a team are a much more organized unit. PSG defensively will get exploited. Leipzig exploited Atletico's weakness of fast movement in between their box. They did it for their 2 goals. Fast movement, 1-1, bang, bang. They packed the lines with 3 attacking midfielders. Olmo, Sabitzer, and Campo is a deep line playmaker. They packed the lines. And that's how you beat Atletico, man. You just pack the lines. And then you make sure that the runners are moving in. And first-time crosses are very important. And that's what they did. First-time cross. and then first time cross to get the goal. That's it. You beat Atletico with quick movement, and Leipzig will know that. They have faced a harder team than PSG, so they will know how gritty it is in the Champions League. And PSG facing Atalanta, where Atalanta were crap and should have probably won with 6 minutes left. Leipzig will go into it with a lot of confidence, and I think it's going to be Bayern Munich versus Leipzig in the final. I just feel it. Julian Nagelsmann hasn't been beaten by Bayern Munich this season. If anything, we should have lost under Hansi Flick to Leipzig. They had like 2 open chances with Timo Werner missing both. And Leipzig just needs a striker like Werner. You know what Julian Nagelsmann said? Julian Nagelsmann said exactly the opposite. He said this is not the type of game for Timo Werner. No, let me say how he said it. This is not the type of game for Timo Werner. The opposition did not leave a lot of space in behind, and we suppose it would not happen. And that's what he said. Timo Werner would have been useless in that game. And the Chelsea fans are crying. It's true. I keep saying it. That's why we didn't want Timo Werner. He's useless when he has no space to run in behind to. And in the Premier League, teams just park the bus. So, that's it. But thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia san mia and peace. Julian Nagelsmann, that's who said that thing about, I don't care. I'm just trying to trigger it. Well, he did say it. He did say Timo Werner wouldn't have been good in that game. Well, mia san mia and peace. Ended on a good note.